Did you know on August 28th, 1993, two astronauts found a space dumpster and opened it, which in turn led to the release of the evil villain Rita Repulsa? This event led to what we know as the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers spawning into existence, and this changed the lives of kids for generations to come. I've decided to rewatch the very first episode of Power Rangers and to talk about the very first episode that brought all this to be, Day of the Dumpster. And we're going to talk about what happens in that, what still works, what makes absolutely no sense, and why this episode explains exactly why Power Rangers became such a big deal. My name's Justin, and Power Rangers was my absolute favorite show growing up. So I figured, why not go back to the beginning? Not just here's a recap, because that gets a little boring. I want to actually rewatch every single Mighty Morphin Power Rangers episode from the beginning, and I want to talk about the characters, I want to talk about the toys, the weird details, the behind the scenes stuff, because there is some drama, the things we forgot, and the things that hit completely different now that we're adults. And there is no better place to start than episode 1. Day of the Dumpster. This episode starts somewhere on the moon. Maybe it's the moon, maybe it's not. There's been some debate on if her dumpster was actually on the moon. We all just kind of assumed it was on the moon. Her palace, however, is on the moon. Two astronauts are exploring and they find this strange container just sitting there, and it looks like a dumpster. Well, I guess it looks like a dumpster. That's how it's described, but there's no other way to describe it. Now, a few questions. First of all, you're in space and you see a container and your first thought is, hey, let's open this up just for fun. Second, why are there no safety protocols here? Because your suits look like they're about to melt off of you because they are so thin. Like, who came up with these suits? I mean, I know this is a children's show, but like, these suits would not pass any safety inspection. Anyway, they open up the dumpster and our villains make a grand entrance. We get Goldar, we get Squat, we got Babu, Finster, and of course the diva herself, Rita Repulsa. And Rita has been trapped in this dumpster for 10,000 years with her henchmen, and at least one of them is gay. Am I right? Am I right? Rita is a right-to-the-point queen. She sees Earth, and she's like ready to rule that world because who runs the world? Rita's gonna run the world. And that's how this begins. Two astronauts deciding they needed to open this strange container, which is gonna lead us to Angel Grove, to a very 90s colorful youth center to meet our 5 teenagers with attitude. From the moon, we go to Angel Grove, California, and this is where we meet the original 5 teenagers. Jason, Zach, Kimberly, Billy, and Trini. And I do love how fast this show tells you exactly who everyone is. You also know what color ranger they are going to be because they're already wearing the colors. I'm just pointing this out. You have Jason, who's teaching karate, so right away we know he's the leader type. He's confident, athletic, he seems responsible, and he's clearly the guy that wants to take charge, and they want us to see him as the main leader. Zach is sparring with Jason, and immediately you can tell he has a personality. He is cool, he is energetic, he has the fun, confident energy that makes him stand out right away. He also has these sweet dance moves that keep everyone impressed. You have Billy there too, and Billy is definitely trying his best. He is very smart, he is awkward, and he's not exactly the most naturally athletic person in the room, except if you've ever seen him without a shirt, I'm just saying. Also, he's wearing glasses, so right away you know he is going to be the nerd archetype. Billy is honestly one of the best. Because of his smarts, it made him so valuable for the team. We see him through a lot of different eras of Rangers, but that's going down the road. We move on to Kimberly. She's practicing gymnastics because, of course, she is. The show wastes absolutely no time telling us this is the Pink Ranger. She's graceful, she is fashionable, she is athletic, and you will remember her. And then you have Trini. She's doing her breathing exercises. She's calm. She's centered. Because Trini is that calm sense on the team. The one you know who will throw down if she needs to. Personally, I think Trini was underused even from the beginning. But she has such a grounded presence. So within just a few minutes, the show gives us the whole team dynamic. You have Jason, the leader. Zach is the personality. Kimberly is the stylish gymnast. Billy is the brains, and Trini is the calm, capable one. Is it subtle? No, but it's broken down easy enough for a child to understand what role everyone is playing. It is easy for us adults to understand too, but it's also like, hey, this is a little corny. And then, of course, towards the end of the scene, you get Bulk and Skull. They walk in, and you know they are going to provide us with a comedy break throughout the show. Bulk and Skull showing up, you know they're the bullies, or they're supposed to be the bullies. Honestly, I'd have a hard time being afraid of these guys. So we have our Rangers. The Rangers are in a superhero origin story, and then you have Bulk and Skull, who are in a slapstick high school comedy sitcom. It grounds the show, it keeps things lighter, because honestly, the show really isn't some dark drama. Rangers, they're just saving the world and dealing with bullies, every teen's worst nightmare. And honestly, it's a very 90s feeling with all of this. They come in, they're acting obnoxious, they bother Kimberly and Trini, and Kimberly and Trini being the absolute boss babes that they are, they put them right on the floor. These girls can handle themselves, flipping them onto that floor, like I said, and thankfully there are safety mats there, because these girls just want to prove a point to not mess with them, not to seriously harm them. The show really makes it clear that Bulk and Skull, they're just supposed to be the comic relief. They are annoying, they are dramatic, they are over the top, and they are going to get constantly humbled. And as a kid, you're like, bullies. No, they are bad. But the Power Rangers are handling them in a respectful manner, so maybe I should be nice too. But truthfully, as an adult, I'd probably just have Alpha teleport them somewhere like an island or something, because I just can't be bothered by all that. I'm saving the world. What more do you want from me? But honestly, the show can't just be Rita screaming on the moon and monsters attacking the Earth. It might get a little too heavy, so that's why you have Bulk and Skull. They're kind of grounding the show in this weird slapstick way. And it's giving us real situations, honestly. It's teaching the youth to be the better person and only fight in the situations if it calls upon that. Back on the moon, Rita and her crew settle into the Moon Palace. In the palace, we see Finster making the putty patrollers. And this is another thing I forgot was so strange. The putties are just clay soldiers. And Finster's putting them in this thing called the Monster-matic machine. And then, Rita's got this army at the ready. And let's be real, the putties aren't strong at all. They're just kind of a nuisance. They're like a roadblock. But Rita needs disposable henchmen. So Finster makes the clay people. And then the Rangers will fight the putties and destroy them. It's simple, and episode 1 sets up this reoccurring formula immediately. Rita also looks through her telescope at Earth, and she is so excited to conquer it. And honestly, this is a really powerful telescope. And then Rita decides, hey, I'm going to cause an earthquake in Angel Grove, because she knows Zordon is there, and she needs to make sure he is taken care of before she handles conquering the world. So now we go back to the youth center, where everybody starts panicking, and before Jason, Zach, Kimberly, Billy, and Trini can really process what is happening, they get teleported away in these colored beams of light, because somewhere deep in a command center, a floating head commands his annoying robot help to find 5 teenagers with attitude. And really, imagine you're at the juice bar 1 minute and then suddenly you're just gone. That's really a lot to process for a weekday. Let's talk about the last half of the first episode of the Power Rangers, first ever episode. The teens end up in the command center and are met by Alpha 5 and Zordon, who lay it all out for them. He's telling them it's time for them to save the world, and he's giving them the reason he picked them. It's because they are teenagers with attitude. Which actually, I don't get, because they actually seem like incredibly nice people. Jason is teaching karate, Billy is polite, Trini is calm, Kimberly is doing gymnastics, and Zach is just like vibing. He just wants to do his dance moves. Then Zordon gives them Power Morphers and dinosaur powers, but honestly, let's be real, they're teenagers and this is just a lot to lay on them, so they aren't sure what to do and they just leave. They could have teleported them back because they don't seem like they're in walking distance to home. I'm just saying. But with no time to process, they are quickly attacked by the putties, and instincts, however, kick in. It's morphin time. And after they morph, they suddenly just know how to do everything, even when Goldar shows up to best them. Rita knows what to do though, so she throws her staff into the earth, which makes Goldar grow giant. But don't worry, the Rangers summon their Zords, which are apparently spread out through all over the globe. Which I didn't think about this until now. The Zords, they're spread out all over the globe, and they get to them in record time. Also, Kim's Zord is in a volcano, and it looks like it's an active volcano, so does it explode every time she calls on that thing? But again, instincts kick in, and they just know how to summon the sword, know how to combine the Megazord, and it's great that they know how to do all this because they win the battle. And that's partly because just Goldar just kind of runs away. But don't worry, Rita's going to try again next week. Afterwards, Zordon lays down the law for them. There's no personal gain. You never escalate a fight. Keep your identities secret. All important information. It's great he's giving them the rules after everything, but hey, semantics. Kimberly fakes out real quick because she isn't sure because, the helmet messes with her hair, but she tells him she's just joking. But honestly, in the end, the Power Rangers are formed, and thus begins this great saga.